a live stream genocide for 2 years now. What's another conservative pundit that they need to cap off in the West? Like, that's nothing, you know? I just think, of course, the Mossad had plans. You don't think that they've gamed out these kinds of scenarios? I mean, they think of everything. We saw in an interview, 60 Minutes interview, like sort of weirdly commemorating the pager attack, this completely, you know, ski masked, blacked out Mossad agent with his voice altered, saying that the Mossad, you can think of the Mossad as a global production company. We write the screenplay, we're the directors, we're the producers, we're the main actors, all the world's a stage. So the Mossad is like, you know, this Shakespearean entity. I just think this is completely within their wheelhouse. And then we saw that one of the ex-Mossad agents was interviewed about this, and he's like, oh, absolutely not. We would have nothing to do with this. And it would have been fine for him to just leave it there. But they double down. They go, we don't do political assassinations. We don't, you know, this is not something that we would ever do. When, you know, James Lee, I don't know if y'all know that creator, but he had a good video where he was like, oh, really? You don't do political assassinations? He pulled up the Wikipedia page, and it's like goes on for days, you know, how many people. I mean, they assassinate poets, they assassinate journalists. I mean, what's a conservative pundit, you know, that's turncoated on them?
And that brings me to this other point I have about it, is it serves a lot of purposes, right? It doesn't just serve the Israel purpose of he was going to start to ask questions. We can't have that. It's also a timing thing in terms of the distraction factor and the creating a martyr and a hero, and also riling up the Christians into a Christian fury, which is basically what this service was about. And that is something that we should be concerned about, because that's not reasonable people, right? That's groupthink. That's, you know, we don't need that. And it's, again, distracting from how many people. I think Israel killed 60 something people in Gaza City yesterday, just, you know, yesterday.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that concerns me more.
Yeah. I think I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, please.
I think the only thing that would have sweetened the deal for me, that would have been just too on the nose, would have been if they would have pinned it on a black trans Palestinian Muslim, you know, was the patsy. Then I would have been like, all right, this is definite psyop.
Well, when I came out and said who was responsible for the assassination, of course I normally said there was a Muslim who did it.
Don't do him.
Look so guilty right out of the box. And so obviously we know what happened yesterday. A lot of people showed up. A lot of people liked him. You know, Glendale, Arizona is a relatively easy place to get to in the Phoenix metro area, so it's not surprising. I'm sure there was a lot of people from, you know, places like, you know, Denver, LA, obviously, that they came out for this event. Okay, I don't really give a shit what probably 95% of the people had to say at this event. There was only 2 speeches that were made that I thought had any relevance. One was Tucker Carlson, and the other was Stephen Miller.
Oh, Goebbels. He's Goebbels.
We'll go with Goebbels first, and then we'll go with Tucker. So this is what a truly psychotic bureaucrat thinks when they have this type of power. Totally unhinged, but you'll see for yourself.
Whispers to the warrior that you cannot withstand my strength, and the warrior whispers back, I am the storm.
That is a direct quote from Joseph Goebbels, in case you were wondering.
Is it really?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
They're literally taking Nazi.
Is he trolling us? Like, is he?
No, dude, he looks like he was fitted for an SS uniform. He has
certainly.
the look.
No, I'm not saying that he's not being genuine, but like, why would he pick that and saying like as a dog whistle to his fan base that, you know, hey, look, this is from.
No, I think he just probably admires his work.
Wow. But, you know, they love to go religious fanaticism and couch this in some dark mythological language, you know, the children of light versus the children of darkness.
Yep.
And that's what I hear when I listen to this kind of drivel. But
well, he's the reason we have. I mean, he's evil. This is a psycho. Yeah, like he's an evil person. I mean, he has some serious psychosis about immigrants, about everything. So I would imagine that the Third Reich is that's his jam.
Well, I mean, he's a part of the Fourth Reich, so he apparently loves that. You know, is that? I mean, like we just, you know, I'm sure there's more to it than just it gets worse. You know?
Oh, it gets worse.
Oh, it gets worse.
Oh yeah, let it go for a bit.
Erica is the storm.
Oh, God.
We are the storm, and our enemies cannot comprehend our strength, our determination, our resolve, our passion. Our lineage and our legacy hails back to Athens, to Rome, to Philadelphia, to Monticello. Our ancestors built the cities. They
Yikes.
produced the art and architecture.
That's not true.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
literally
it's,
not
it's
true.
absurd. This is like, remember when Bill Maher, when he had that statement, I went off on him. He said something about all like the good thoughts have happened in like, I forget what he's like the 16th, whatever, and since the 1600s, and that democracy is because of people like, you know, John Locke and all this. I'm like, no, that was an indigenous thing, but that's this kind of bullshit. That's this kind of shit.
Yeah, they love to just avoid the topic of, you know, imperialism, colonialism, slavery, all the genocidal things we've done to, you know, obviously, I don't know what, Philadelphia, these cities were built by slaves, you know?
Well, everything he said is white supremacy.
Right, exactly.
Everything he has said is basically our genetics are superior.
Yeah. Also, wait, I'm
gotta
sorry.
tell you, if his genetics were superior, he'd have better hair.
I was just going to say.
I was going to say at the end, he should just say this speech was sponsored by Palantir. And also, this is a memorial service. I'm sorry. This is about Charlie Kirk and remembering a man. Like, we're talking about waging a race war now, like at the memorial service. What is going on?
Listen, I didn't do a clip of this, but I will just say that my entire memorial of Charlie was talking about what a great economy we have.
Yep.
And it's all because of me.
We have the hottest country in the world.
And I also wanted to say that I appreciate Charlie being a very forgiving person, but I'm not so forgiving. I hate my enemies. They're terrible people.
I watched that too. You do a good Donald Trump impression.
No, this is the real thing. Believe me.
That's it.
On a better looking mask. All right. Let's see what else Dingbat has to say.
Built the industry. Erica stands on the shoulders of thousands of years of warriors. Woman who raised up families, raised up city, raised up industry, raised up civilization, who pulled us out of the caves and the darkness into the light.
Oh my God.
He had to have plagiarized this, right? Like he probably just grabbed a bunch of shit.
Well, first of all, you're assuming he plagiarized it, which I would think. Well, I mean, certainly the Goebbels part, but most of these people don't write their own stuff. Right. So whoever his comms speech people are, whoever it is, somebody wrote this for him under his direction. But yeah, the odds that he actually wrote this are like slim to none.
Commandant Miller. Thank you, Commandant.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, this is...
The light will defeat the dark.
Oh, my God.
We will prevail over the forces of wickedness and evil. They cannot imagine what they have awakened. They cannot conceive of the army that they have arisen in all of us, because we stand for what is good, what is virtuous, what is noble. And to those trying to incite violence against us, those trying to foment hatred against us, what do you have? You have nothing.
You
are nothing.
Like, is he talking to Israel? I don't understand.
Well, it's so funny because I hear it and I think, yes, but it's just the inverse. You know what I'm saying? Like if he were on our team, this would be exactly what I would want somebody to be saying. It's just he's so freaking delusional. And I don't think see, again, we had this when I talked about Laura Loomer. These people don't truly understand rage because they don't understand love. And you can't truly understand rage when you don't. So that's what makes people like me infinitely more dangerous than people like him. Because he can't fathom what that feels like. That's what I know.
Yeah, I mean, it's written on his face.
There probably isn't anybody in the Trump administration that is more genocidal in how they feel about the Palestinian people than this man speaking right now.
And I don't think I've seen newborn babies with cheeks that supple. Look at that pinhead.
Look how shiny he is.
He's so shiny. He's supposed to instill fear in people? I don't think so.
I kind of want to, you know.
I think April said it best. That's a
scrotum head.
It is.
Scripter.
Shiny.
We'll finish it up.
You are wickedness, you are jealousy, you are envy, you are hatred, you are nothing. You can build nothing. You can produce nothing. You can create nothing. We are the ones who build. We are the ones who create.
Wow, dude.
We are the ones who lift up humanity. You thought you could kill Charlie Kirk? You have made him immortal. You have immortalized Charlie Kirk. And now millions will carry on his legacy.
Inciting people into a race war is exactly what you'd expect from a Charlie Kirk funeral service.
Exactly. That
Yeah.
was that insane. You hadn't heard that.
No, I hadn't, and I streamed this yesterday, but I didn't get that speech. I just saw Donald Trump's like tirade, which went on for hours. It seemed like, of him talking about himself. But man, you you have it all with this.
Yeah.
He's an evil guy, and the more they project, the more it appears that the guilt shows on their face. We will immortalize Charlie Kirk. I mean, listen, the one thing that the two of you have in common is that you've done literal battle with these Zion Nazi psychopaths. And as Jen has pointed out, especially about Loomer, you know, here's a who right after his assassination says, I'm going to find all of you people. I'm going to track you down. Hey, Laura, didn't you send this tweet out like a week and a half ago saying that Charlie Kirk better watch himself because he's in a lot of trouble now? It's like, my God, they're so transparent about their
it's the double standard there, you know.
Of course.
Well, of course, but you know, I don't know if it was Laura Loomer, but some of those right-wing Twitter pages that are very popular are talking about how political violence has no place in America. But you go back in their history and you see like, oh, something like 2,000 immigrants have been killed, and they're like, yes, more. So it's like, yeah, political violence is okay when it applies to the social groups that you find deplorable, you know.
Well, I've always said when people say that, whenever people say like now is not the time for violence, violence has no place, all of that stuff, that only comes from exceptionally privileged people. That doesn't come from anybody with any concept of reality, right? Like, and certainly not the majority of people who fall into generally either one oppressed group or another, or just the working poor. Like that's most people. So yeah, I would say all evidence to the contrary. You cannot be the most violent empire to ever be on this planet, all around the world, be killing people left and right, and then have any like ground to say violence isn't the answer. Au contraire.
Yeah.
I would suggest violence is the only answer because you don't allow us to have nonviolent resistance. So you reject nonviolent resistance. So this is where we're at.
Yeah, we hear governors and senators say disavow political violence in the wake of the Charlie Kirk assassination, or murder, as you say, Jen. But yet there's pivoting and signing Javelin missiles. It's the same people, you know. You can't unsee it once you see that, and it's just complete hypocrisy.
And this is what I find, and it's like, look, when Josh Shapiro, his house got set on fire. Right?
That's exactly what I was thinking of.
Right. And that, I'm not suggesting that's okay. It is not okay. Now, I do agree with pots and pans at all hours of the night. That I am on board with in public spaces so that they don't have a moment's peace.
Yeah.
But arson is no. But how dare he sit there and be so fucking self-righteous about violence when he was signing missile bombs or whatever to against Russians? Mm-hmm. I believe he was signing it for Ukraine.
I really? I thought it was. I thought it was also Palestine and
Israel. That might have been too. But I do know that he was. Well, I mean, I know he's a Zio. But regardless, if you're signing your name on something that's going to kill people, you do not get to talk to us about violence.
You lose that moral posturing. You know, spare me the selective moral outrage.
Wait.
Fake outrage. That's it.
Remember when they had the sign?
Oh yeah.
Remember that?
Is that the Congress? Yeah, right. The Congress.
That was how they stood up against the genocide. They had signs that just said something.
It's like the black square for Instagram, BLM.
But here, donate to my campaign with the QR code.
Ugh.
Of the most influential people in conservative politics, particularly America First conservative politics, you had Charlie Kirk, you have Candace Owens, and you also have Tucker Carlson.
It actually reminds me of my favorite story ever. So it's about 2,000 years ago in Jerusalem, and Jesus shows up and he starts talking about the people in power, and he starts doing the worst thing that you can do, which is telling the truth about people, and they hate it. And they just go bonkers. They hate it. And they become obsessed with making him stop. This guy's got to stop talking.
Jesus and the Roman Empire, Charlie Kirk speaking out of line against the Zionist empire.
Right. He's drawing a historical analog there, which he's being a rather vague about it because he doesn't say who the people in power are. He just says Jesus was. He's speaking to Christ as king people, so like they're all going to be like, "Oh yeah, hooray Jesus!" And so, what's he getting at here? You know, what do you?
Well, I think that there is definitely a division that's becoming a lot more obvious between the Catholics and the Protestants. I think this is almost like Ireland all over again, and in so many ways. I mean, I'll always as bad as it's all bad, but if I have to choose, I'm siding with the Catholics because in the end, the feigning loyalty to a foreign nation and believing that Israel can do no wrong because somebody wrote in a Bible 100 years ago that Israel must be protected. I mean, the Schofield Bible.
Yeah, I was about to say, when you said 100 years ago, I'm like, wait, what? And then I'm like, oh yeah, the Schofield version is the one that gives some sort of special consideration to Israel. Is that how I understand
That's what all the evangelicals do.
Right.
You know, I don't know if you've ever spoken with Casey Malone, but she's got a nice growing channel on YouTube. She is from Oklahoma, and she grew up in the John Hagee church. Like, she was in the full on into the evangelical Christian Zionist church. So she knows all about this and how, much like the Zios in Israel are indoctrinated from youth about Jewish supremacy, the same is true for those that grow up in the heartland and in the deep South that are in the evangelical Protestant church, where they are taught that Israel is the end-all be-all of your belief system. Like, Jesus can't come down to earth again unless we have all of the Jews go to Israel. It's this whole, again, it's religion.
Does that play into like the rapture revenge fantasy that they have?
I believe that's a big part of it.
Part of it, yeah. Was Charlie Kirk Catholic or Protestant?
He was Christian Zionist, but my understanding, according to Candace Owens anyway, is that he was becoming very disillusioned with the evangelical church because of the fact that he saw, Israel for what it was. And his wife, Erica, was raised Catholic. And obviously the people that he's kept in his orbit were Catholic. And there have been photos that have been surfacing of Charlie going to Catholic Mass. So this is something that's been going around. And everybody knows that even though the Catholic Church has not officially denounced Israel, that they're not on board with what they're doing, but the evangelicals are. And that, I think, is a huge dividing line that we're faced with in this country. Tucker is a devout Catholic. He always has been. So this is very personal for him, understandably so.
Do you think he's trying to take some parting shots, at Israel in this speech he's giving? You think so?
He knows the difference. He damn well knows the difference because in his time, remember when he was talking with Ted Cruz recently?
Oh yeah.
And Ted Cruz was trying to accuse Tucker of being anti-Semitic, which is absurd. And as we all know, these Jews aren't even Semites, which is a whole other story. But no, he absolutely knows the difference. And I don't think there's anything remotely anti-Jewish about Tucker Carlson. I find him elitist. I find him grifty, and I have a lot of issues with him.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say he's anti-Jewish. So he damn well knows the difference. So he's definitely trying to speak to a certain audience. Yeah. And that's like dog whistle shit.
And I think he would probably share our perspective that Israel, was perhaps, without much evidence right now, but perhaps it's not far-fetched to conclude that Israel might have been behind the demise of Charlie Kirk to some extent, And he's also on record of coming out after the assassination that Charlie Kirk was at odds with Israel and at that time. So I think it's...
We did a clip on when he went on what apparently was the day after he was summoned by Ackman to the Hamptons.
Right.
You could see it in his face. Like he was like, am I not pro-Israel enough for you? And I said immediately, You can never be pro-Israel
No.
enough. There's no such thing.
Unless
No.
you're Ben Shapiro or something, where you just pledge fealty to Israel, and your acknowledgement as an American is based on America's foreign policy towards Israel.
Just how long they think they can keep it up. I mean, listen, when we finish this clip, we'll get to Bonfiglio, but it is amazing what people are willing to do for money, what they're willing to say, the sacrifices they're willing to make. They wear it on their face. It's so obvious. Yeah, I'm a grifting. What do you want from me? I'm trying to get paid. It is what it is. But you can only get away with that for so long. As Lincoln said, and it's the best saying he ever had, and he had a lot of great ones. You can fool some of the people all the time. You can fool all the people some of the time. You cannot fool all of the people all of the time. And that's where we are.
I thought that was Bob Marley. No?
What was that?
He thought
I thought that was Bob Marley, but no, maybe not.
Fair enough. We'll finish it up.
We've got to shut this guy up. And I can just sort of picture the scene in a lamplit room with a bunch of guys sitting around eating hummus, thinking about what do we do about this guy telling the truth about us? We must make him stop talking. And there's always one guy with the bright idea, and I can just hear him say, I've got an idea. Why don't we just kill him? We'll shut him up. That'll fix the problem.
Off his
That's
meds.
balls, though.
Yeah.
That's some balls to stand there at this thing and say that at Charlie Kirk's memorial.
Keep in mind, he said this in front of 100,000 people.
Yeah. That's just talk about putting a target on oneself.
Exactly. You know, you have, I mean, I'm sure in Tucker's conscience, he's thinking, like, what's Israel going to do to me? You know, I mean, he's got a big enough target on his back. He's been a vocal critic of Israel for so long.
Yeah. Him and Candace, man, she needs to be in a bunker somewhere.
She is. She didn't even go to Charlie's memorial. So that said everything. To me, that was it. It's like, yeah, she's definitely.
She needs to stay. Yeah. Cause yeah.
I would say
And
of all
I'm not
the
a
people.
fan. Again, not a fan, but she's definitely pushing the wrong buttons or the
Yeah.
right buttons.
Thanks for watching, and please like and subscribe to the page to help it grow. And if you'd like to support my work, join my Patreon for exclusive content.